Okay. So, it's not working. I see the sound recording. I can't hear it though. See if you can hear it on that computer. I'm sorry, y'all. Let us get this together real quick. Oh no, I can't hear me. Okay, I'm sorry, I can hear me. Okay, so I'm sorry, y'all. We just had to get that together real quick. They threw a little wrench out. I am doing well. How are you doing? I seen the well, write me. Anyway, so the back to school thing or whatever. So let me tell you guys why the election coming up in November is very, very important. I would want to push the idea that everyone needs to vote. Please get out there and vote. Can you put Facebook on my screen? Please get out there and vote. So that because let me tell you guys about your mayor. There's two things really right now going on with the mayor that is really not or not the mayor, I'm sorry, the governor, that's really not sitting well with me. It's on Brother Johnson Bay. So the first thing as far as returning back to school is concerned, the Governor Parsons has made a statement saying they're gonna get sick anyway. They might as well go back to school and get over it. Okay. This is not okay. I have so many different ideas, so many different things going on with this statement that he had made. You know, the thing about it is with the COVID-19, you know, and I was having this conversation with one of my best friends last week, is do we think that this is just going to go away? Do we feel like the COVID-19, like we do everything they tell us to do, if we do everything that they tell us to do, eventually, the virus would just disappear. I guess that's what everyone is thinking. They do have the vaccine and everything that's coming out. Or is this something inevitable inevitable? I don't even know if that's the word I'm trying to say. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. But that we're just going to have to deal with, or is this something that eventually everyone will contract? So that's my first thing, and you guys let me know what you think. Like, do you think this disease, this virus that's going around, is something that is just gonna eventually gonna go away, no one else will get it, we're not gonna have a threat of it no more? Or one, are you waiting for the vaccine? Or do you think it's something that we are all eventually going to be exposed to? So let me know what you guys think about that real quick in the comments. Because the way the governor was making it come across is that eventually everyone will contract this disease, and there's no need to withhold school for children, because it's basically just let them go, take their chances. If they get it, let them get over it, take their 2 weeks, and then go back to school, and everything like that, because there is no cure for it right now. If you're test positive for COVID-19, all you can do is quarantine yourself, try to, take care of yourself or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So what, I just don't like the ideal of us using our children, or people trying to use our children as guinea pigs. You know what I'm saying? And them being on the front line of contracting this disease, and all in us. Well, it's many different reasons. We can't go back into all the reasons why everyone, I don't know everyone's personal reasons for why they want their children to go back to school. So when the governor made this statement, about the schools, and this was totally against Kansas City's health department recommendation. They recommend that there be no in-person school. They think everything should be viral. So, the mic has no sound. That was probably on her phone. Not just I was just saying, but Yeah, so the virus, if we're thinking that everyone is just going to contract this virus, you know what I'm saying? And that's how the governor, I keep saying the governor is viewing this as far as the children returning back to school and everything like that. You guys let me know how you feel, because they have already said, even on a federal level, that a certain percentage of children were going to die. It came out to like 14,700 children were going to die. From this disease by returning to school and everything like that. And then you look on the opposite side. If jobs are back open and schools are not going to be open, what does that look like for parents? You know what I'm saying? Like, how are jobs going to allow you to work from home? Like, people with children to work from home? I feel like it's going to be a big mess. Okay. So that's my little rant on that. As far as the main thing that I wanted to insist is the Missouri governor and his comments regarding it, and just the empathy, the lack of empathy, you know what I'm saying, that they are really showing right now for our children, for school age children to return back to school and everything like that. Make sure you guys comment and let me know what you think, because again, this is a conversation. I feed off of you guys, so I need, you guys' comments to keep me rolling and help me out here. As well as the governor also stated, okay, so a couple of weeks back, there was, okay, so let's go with the backstory of this. In St. Louis, Missouri, the mayor of St. Louis, Missouri, went and had a press conference where she released names and addresses of activists who were calling for the defundment of the police department, right? Which I felt like she was in violation of law right then and there. She basically put a bullseye on these people to make them targets, you know what I'm saying, of really probably of the police department. And so, which we don't need no help becoming targets of the police department. I mean, we wake up as targets of the police department. We don't need no help. You know what I'm saying? So that was really, yeah, she did that. So when she did that in St. Louis, the people decided, I think it's going to be a mess. I think it's going to be a mess too, Miss Johnson. I definitely think it's going to be a mess. So when she did this, when she went on the air, or had this press conference, and she did this and released their names and everything like that, the people decided that they were going to have a protest to her house. Okay, so in the midst of them protesting to her house, the couple who lives in the same neighborhood decided to pull guns on the protesters. The husband had an AK, the wife had a handgun. They are both lawyers. Well, the attorney general has decided to charge them with felony charge. I'm not quite sure what the charge is right now, but it was announced that they will be charged with a felony charge, right? So upon the attorney general announcing his plans, I don't know if it's a he or she, to be honest, but announcing the plans to charge this couple that pulled these guns on these peaceful protests, right? Governor Parsons, once again, decided that he made a statement and said no matter what the attorney general does, and if they get charged with it, and if they get prosecuted with it, he will pardon them. Because the attorney general, matter of fact, let me actually read the statement it was that he actually made, because he's really working my nerves, y'all. He is really working my nerves, and I just feel like these are they didn't took it down. Oh no, you know what? I probably didn't save it there. Okay, here it is. So the Missouri Governor Parsons said he is going to pardon the McClouseys without a doubt, saying that the prosecutor's actions defy common sense. So basically the governor is saying that it is common sense for you to be able to step up on your line on a public sidewalk and point a gun at peaceful protesters and pull a gun, threaten these peaceful protesters with a gun. So what if someone would have shot them? What if someone in that protest would have shot them because they felt threatened? You know what I'm saying? By a gun being pulled on them. Like, what if you know what I'm saying, then we will be talking about a totally different story. So what if the governor says that he's gonna pardon this couple, you know what I'm saying, he's gonna pardon this couple, we really need to get out here and vote. This is two strikes and within a day on me that I've learned, that I didn't found about this governor. I just really, really want you guys to really get out there and register to vote. Even if it's not for the president, if it's not for the president, it's this governor. The governor of Missouri needs to go. This is the second time. So one, he wants to, Kim Gardner is an Asiatic female. Oh, is that the prosecutor? The attorney general of Missouri, Johnson Bay? I believe it is because I seen that name. So he said she defies common sense. So he's basically saying that the attorney general of Missouri does not have common sense. Okay. And then he said, no matter what the people say, no matter what the jury says, no matter what the court says, he's basically going to go behind them and pardon them for whatever decision their peers choose to make as a jury. He's going to go behind and pardon them. You know what I'm saying? And now, and he wants to use your children. He said your children are going to contract COVID one way or other. They might as well go back to school, catch it, and get over it. These are the statements that he has made in the media for the last couple of about these two topics. You know what I'm saying? And he probably has not even addressed the violence going on in Kansas City or St. Louis, in Missouri, period. You know what I'm saying? The police departments, the police shootings, anything like that. But you want to come out here and make these statements about the attorney general who's doing what I feel is right, because you had no way, if no one is threatening your home, if they are on private property, if they are, on public property, and they are not threatening your home, you have no right to pull a gun on them. You have no right to wave your gun in their face and try to put fear upon them. You know what I'm saying? You have no right to do that. So that's not, he said that the attorney general does not have common sense by trying to prosecute these people. They did that because they felt entitled. And this is what is the problem with Europeans in America. They have this sense of entitlement, and the justice system backs it. You know what I'm saying? It backs this sense of entitlement that they have, to where they feel like they can do whatever it is that they feel they need to do or want to do. And it's in conflict of human rights. It's in conflict of civil rights. It's in conflict of the law, period. And for the governor to just come out and say that he's going to pardon this couple, you know, no matter what their peers, because it's saying if the attorney general prosecutes them, they have to go to court. You know what I'm saying? This is a trial. They are tried by a jury. If a jury of their peers decide that they are guilty, how are you going to come behind and just pardon them of whatever decision or whatever consequence it comes from that? You know what I'm saying? And how are you going to go above the law, basically? What makes you feel you have that right? He needs to be out of office. We have to vote. We have to vote, because this is not, it's not okay. You know what I'm saying? It's not okay for, and this is where our voices can be heard. This is where we can really affect a change. If we don't like something that's going on, no matter who it is, the governor, the mayor, the attorney general, the police chief, the fire chief, whoever it may be, if you don't like something that's going on in your community, do your part and vote them out of office. Don't let them just sit there and continue to be in a position to make these decisions for you. We need someone that's gonna be in there that's going to actually have our, and it's not just our back as a nation, as humans, period, that's gonna have justice in their mind, no matter the hue of your skin, no matter the hue of there they are, no matter whether they're Republican or Democrat, no matter none of that. We're just talking simply right from wrong. We are talking about just having the humanity's best interest at mind. You know what I'm saying? At heart. You know what I'm saying? Using humanity, like what is good for humanity, because these people that feel like they could just do whatever it is that they want to do is the reason that we have so many police killings. The reason that we have so much racism going on, no matter wherever you go. The reason that most of us don't even feel comfortable in our own jobs, in our own companies. We don't feel comfortable just doing normal things that we should have to do. We have to always be looking over our shoulder. We always have to be concerned about what can go wrong, being in the wrong place at the right time, how to act, or being at the wrong place at the wrong time, or whatever, how to act when you're in certain presence of certain individuals and things like this. All these things that should not really be a concern of life. And I was watching this. I kind of talked about it before on the show. I don't remember exactly when, but we talked about it. Might have been last week, but I was just saying that against the McClouseys earlier on Monday, St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner filed charges against the couple who were confronting prosecutors with guns back in June. Yes, that's what I was talking about. That was announced, and when that was announced, the governor made an announcement, came back and made an announcement and saying that he would pardon the how do you say their name, the McClouseys, because the basically Kim Gardner was not using common sense by filing those charges against them. Them was the words out of his mouth. That is a news article. He is quoted saying it. You know what I'm saying? So these are the things that we have to look at, and we have to and I actually had to look up, you know what I'm saying, is the governor position actually on the ballot coming up this November? And it is. So make sure that you go out there, vote in August for the preliminary, and in November for the primary, because we have to make a stand. We can't. I know that voting is a heavy topic amongst our community. I know we're really kind of divided once it comes to the ideal of voting. Some people feel like voting is useful. Some people feel like voting is not useful. The Supreme Court did change a law this year going into this election that the Electoral College must go with the popular vote of their state. That is something that's brand new this year in 2020. Like, how to figure that in 2020? This is just now what they saying. Oh, you gotta vote how the people vote. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so yeah, it's just the importance of when we see these type of things happening, when we continue to see I believe it was a gated community, so the protesters were trespassing. A gated community. It was a gated community. However, the gate was not locked. They did not break down the gate as what was reported. As far they opened it and they continued to march. Now, in a gated community, Mr. Tyson, in a gated community, is the street considered trespassing? Like, if there's a street in a gated community, like, is that, I mean, I would really have to look into that, like, that law, because if that's the case, why weren't the protesters charged with trespassing? You know what I'm saying? Like, trespassing is a crime. You know, you can get a ticket for that. You can go to jail for that. So no one was taken to jail on those charges. No one was given those charges or whatever. So how can you can't use that to defend this couple pulling guns on a group of people? I just don't think that they defend that. Even if they were trespassing, if they weren't on their property, if they were in the street, they were on their property, how can you, what is your defense? You know what I'm saying? Like, what was your idea? What was your reasoning for pulling a gun on these people? And then these assault rifles, are these things even legal? The gun that he even had, is that even legal? Ain't that the same thing that they trying to ban because these are what students are using to go shoot up schools? Mind you, hold on, not students, European children using to shoot up schools, because it ain't our children shooting up no schools. I'm not defending them. I'm just stating it's a private property. And I definitely understand that. I definitely would assume that the mayor would live, on private property and everything like that. But she gave out addresses. So what she said, she basically sending people to other people's house. So why we can't come to your house? I don't understand. It's like, the thing about it is for them to be pardoned, for the governor to say that he's just going to pardon them because the attorney doesn't have common sense. Circuit attorney, I guess not the attorney general, the St. Louis Circuit attorney doesn't have common sense. And the fact that he stated that she doesn't have defies common sense as an Asiatic woman, For him to make that statement regarding her, I feel is inappropriate. He shouldn't even have been. He shouldn't even have been to said that. Even if he did not agree with the charges, and even if this is what he decided to do, he could have. That could have came out after they didn't went to court or something. After they didn't actually been found guilty of some charges or something, if that's what he was gonna decide to do. But the thing about it is when he's already stating this before it's even taken or put in front of a jury, how much rope does that leave anyone else to feel like they can do that, to feel like they can just pull guns on whoever they want to pull guns on because, oh, you're on private property, or because I feel like you're threatening me, just like the lady in Chipotle. You know what I'm saying? When they said at the Chipotle thing, when she pulled a gun on that 15-year-old and her mom. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's making it too comfortable for white supremacy to keep going. You know what I'm saying? They feel backed. They feel backed by the system, and they have every reason to feel backed by the system when the governor makes it plain and clear that you don't worry about it. You ain't going to jail. Don't worry about what nobody say. Don't worry about it. You're not going to jail. I'm gonna excuse it. Can you pardon some of these people that's in jail innocently? That's in jail for crimes that they didn't commit? Can we pardon some of those people? Because I just don't understand how you just sit up here blatantly saying that the lady doesn't have common sense that decided to bring these charges against these people and that you're just going to pardon him. That ain't your right. We dealing with a whole crisis and everything like that, and this is what you concerned about? That's just like the Donald Trump over there taking pictures with Goya. Is that the name of the food company? Goya products or whatever. Like he's shooting a dang infomercial, and we in the whole middle of a pandemic. You know what I'm saying? People over here stressing, thinking about this unemployment that's about to stop. Their jobs ain't started back up. They thinking about how they about to pay their rent next month, how they going to continue to put food on their table, how their children are going to get educated this year, and everything like that. And we out here partnering people that's threatening peaceful protesters. Nah, that ain't cool. Like, that's not cool. And if we don't take it in our hands to do what it is that we need to do, which is vote that man out of that office. And you know what the crazy thing about it is I met Governor Parsons, and I shook his hand and everything, like listened to him talk. He was cool. Like when he came to our job and everything, I was like, oh, I like him. You know what I'm saying? Like he was cool or whatever. And then I seen this and I'm just like, what in the world? Like what would possess you to say this about this couple, to say this about these children going back to school? It's like now your true colors are showing. You know what I'm saying? And once we start seeing these type of things, we have to act accordingly. We have to do what it is that we need to do what it is that we can do to make sure that we're not living in a state that is governed by somebody that think that it's okay that whatever percentage of children going back to school is just gonna die. Like that's just okay. That's cool. We can afford that. We can afford to lose 14,700 children. You know what I'm saying? The world won't miss them. That's basically what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely understand working parents and the ideal of what it's going to be like not being able, or for your children not being able to go back to school. I definitely understand those type of things and those concerns and everything like that. But at the same time, are we doing, he's playing to his base, just like grab them. Just like, and that's true. You know what I'm saying? That's true. But the thing about it is like now that when we see these type of things, and now we figured it, when we find these type of things out, then now it's time to start investigating. Now it's time to start doing some research or whatever. So I had to look up the people actually running for governor in Missouri this year, and so I will be doing a little bit of research on there. So in the next coming weeks, we will be, talk about this. I believe the source of the KUAW coming on next is going to be interviewing with Eric Morrison, which is a Democrat candidate for governor of Missouri. So I definitely would suggest that you guys tune in to the show directly after mine, just to just to see what he's about, listening to him if you're not familiar with him at all or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Just to just get a little bit familiar with the other options that we have out here, because right now what we have in office is not gonna cut it. Straight up, what we have in front of us is not what I mean, what we have right now in front of us is not the best thing for us right now. It's not the best thing for our people. It is not, as we can see about the by the things that are going on in St. Louis, about the things that are going on as far as schools reopening, all these type of things or whatever. This is not the best situation. It's not handling this accordingly. I'm looking at it just like jobs, just like I'm looking at all these my job. How are you handling what's going on right now? It shows me everything about the company. It's showing me how are you oh, I gotta take a break. Okay, well, I gotta take a break, and we're gonna conclude this. Before I go, we're gonna conclude this because I want to talk about mental health on the next segment of this show after the break. It's a lot of things that's been going on with a lot of people in the media or whatever, and July is Mental Health Awareness Month, so we're gonna we're gonna discuss it a little bit. So I ask that you guys stay tuned with me. Just gonna take a brief break to pay a little bills, and I will be right back. Alrighty. Oh, my picture not big. Okay, and I am back. I appreciate you guys bearing with me, letting us get a couple of sponsorships and commercials out of the way. Again, if you have a business or an event that you would like sponsored here on KUAW, make sure to shoot us an email, kuaw985@gmail.com. Alrighty, so yes, let's do, okay. Main thing that want you guys to take out of the first half of this show is to make sure to register to vote and to get out and vote in August and November. So moving on or moving forward, it is Mental Health Awareness Month. we know mental health is one thing that is really overlooked in our community. Um, I have a couple of different things. A lot of things I have to like really look deeper into because I feel like we have a very westernized philosophy of mental health issues, and we feel like it's something that you're born with, it's a chemical imbalance, all these type of things like that. But Eastern philosophies will teach you that those type of things are reflections of things that are going on the inside of you. You know what I'm saying? So are your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? The things that the things that we give our energy to and everything like that. Again, not here to debate that. Um, just hey. So with that being said, there's been a couple of celebrities in the news this week that have been seeming like they've been going through some things. So first, I want to start off by saying sending out good thoughts, strong thoughts, prayers, love, positive vibes to Tamar Braxton. A lot of times we look at celebrities and we don't realize all the things, or we don't realize that they're human just like we are. They're regular people just like we are. They just happen to have a little bit more money and the different jobs and things like that. And sometimes life gets hard. And she had a suicide attempt this week that left her in the hospital. So again, she is responsive now. At first, she was in a coma and everything like that. She did wake up a couple of days ago. I believe they were saying she was responsive and everything now. So just send out good thoughts, positive vibes, and prayers to the Braxton family. Nick Cannon. Okay, so Nick Cannon. Okay. So goodness gracious, I stand with Nick. I'm gonna let that be known right now. I feel like a lot of people that were upset with the things that Nick Cannon said are a lot of people that cannot accept truth for what it is. You know what I'm saying? Nick Cannon didn't say anything wrong. What Nick Cannon did was speak the truth on a platform controlled by people that are trying to keep it hidden. Nick Cannon is employed by people that, because he did get fired, so he was employed by people that don't want the truth to come out. And if you don't understand what things say, and a lot of people say, oh, it's hate talk. And that's another thing. It's like we tie all these emotions and everything like that when it's simply just truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are things in history that we can look up. I don't think of course, it's not right to go around today and look at every European and say, oh, you're a savage, or oh, you're an animal, or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But let's keep it real. We know the genealogy through which the European came into the world. They teach you it in school. They try to make it seem like it's yours, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know the history of the caveman. We know the history of the European Dark Ages. We know what they had to come out of. We know the type of things that they had to be taught. You know what I'm saying? Just to be civilized as a people. And if you don't know, all you got to do is research the European Dark Ages. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the type of things that were brought out, and that's really all he was saying. When we talk about the Bible, there's so many people that will tell you that there are no Europeans in the Bible. The Bible does not discuss Europeans. Everyone that is mentioned in the Bible is of Asiatic descent. Point blank, period. So the thing, and then the thing about it, it's just so much, you know what I'm saying? And it goes into our people knowing history and not knowing the history that we're just taught. I'm not talking about the history that we're just taught in school. You got to go beyond that. You know what I'm saying? You have to do research on your own. You have to find out these things on your own, because no one's going to teach. No one, if your parents didn't teach them to you, trust and believe you're not going to get it from an outside source like public school, or they're not going to put it on. You do got that one lady, Jane. I can't think of her last name, but I love her. And she'll tell you, like, she breaks it down for you. You know what I'm saying? You do have a certain Europeans out there that do speak the truth, that are not ashamed of. The thing about it is, the thing of the one, they can accept what it is that where they come from, You know what I'm saying? Their history. I say it all the time. The negativity, the violence, the anger, the war, all that type of stuff, that is not the nature of our people. That is the nature of the European. That is shown throughout history. You know what I'm saying? Like that is shown through Elliot. I don't know, is Elliot a European in the Bible? Oh, I don't know. Miss Tyson said it. I don't know. But, I got to ask my Bible people that be around me because y'all know I don't know. I pick and choose the verses that I read out the Bible. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know what it's just like, this type of things is like people. Oh, Jane Elliott. Okay, that's that's my girl. I like her. She be speaking truth. If y'all don't know who Jane Elliott is, YouTuber, look her up, research it, listen to what she be saying because she speaks truth. You know what I'm saying? The thing about it is we can't be ashamed of our ancestors and whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, that they put on. That brings me into Kanye. Okay, a lot of people says that Kanye. I had a comment today made, about a person that says Kanye likes to take away the fight of our ancestors. You know what I'm saying? And in a sense, I agree with that. He does. You know what I'm saying? He speaks real nonchalant of the things of the past. You know what I'm saying? Of the things that have happened and everything like that. Jane is great. She definitely is. He speaks real nonchalant of the things that have happened in the past because I can't say why, but that's just how it comes across to me. One thing that I want to say before I get into this conversation is that people really perceive things in their perception of what things say. The Romans were European, I think. Yeah, the Romans were European. That ain't no think. We know that the Romans were European. I guess they were in the Bible because they crucified Jesus. But is Jesus' crucifixion even in the Bible? I don't know. Oh, it is. It's in the New Testament. Well, there's no Europeans in the Old Testament. Let me put it like that. Okay? There's no Europeans in the Old Testament. The crucifixion ain't in the Old Testament, ain't it? Yeah, it's in the New Testament. Okay, so yeah, let me correct that statement because I want to make sure I'm speaking truth. There's no Europeans in the Old Testament of the Bible. We know the New Testament was written by the Romans, so of course they wrote themselves in. But anyway, yeah. So Kanye and so the last statement, the first thing that a lot of people had a problem with that Kanye was saying that when he was in TMZ a while back, you know what I'm saying, was the, slavery was a choice type thing and everything like that. And, it just, a lot of people felt like, again, he took away from the Nat Turners and the Kunta Kintes and, the Harriet Tubmans and everybody that did decide to fight back against what was going on for them. Everyone didn't just lay down and accept what was being put upon them. You know what I'm saying? And there were a lot of fighters. There were a lot of people that he disregarded, the people that jumped ship and all that, you know what I'm saying, in a matter of that's what I was saying. People only perceive things and understand things, their perception of what people say to their level of understanding. So if your level of understanding is, wherever it is, because everyone's level of understanding is different. And that's what we got to learn about each other. We cannot judge the people on what it is that they say or what, you know what I'm saying? Like it is. The thing about it is, if you feel like they're wrong, correct them. Don't belittle them, because at the end of the day, they may have said it to you just to hear the growth, just to grow. You know what I'm saying? To grow from the conversation. We are all they're in my Quran, of the Morris Science Temple of America. It states that you speak, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't have it right in front of me here to read, but it says, communicate to the ignorant for their improvement, communicate to the wise for thy own improvement. In either situation, depending on the conversation and depending on who you're talking to, you're either the wise one or the ignorant one. And ignorant just means of not knowing. You know what I'm saying? So at any point, just depending on who you're talking to, the topic of the conversation, you can take on the role as the ignorant or the teacher or the wise one. No matter, just depending on who you're talking to, the level of understanding that they are in the topic of conversation. That's one thing that we have to understand about each other as well. Now, the latest thing that Kanye West said that got a lot of people upset, and another thing that I would say about Kanye West is I feel like Kanye West is very, very intelligent. Okay. And I feel like this because I have a little brother like this. He's very intelligent, you know, but they don't always articulate their thoughts correctly. When you have someone who's like ADHD, or you know, had these type of things or whatever, and then also it's the, you know, product of your environment, all these type of things or whatever, you may have a problem with articulating your thoughts and you know, across, so to where it's understandable for the masses. That's what I would say, because there are certain people, there are people that understood and understands exactly what Kanye is saying, and there's people that don't. There's people that look at him like, oh, he's crazy, he needs help, he's having a maniac episode, he needs some medicine and everything, because everybody is just psychiatrists right now. They're just diagnosing these mental illnesses, but they can't diagnose themselves, or they bad kids. But anyway, but they show quick to judge this man. We got to stop using these type of things or whatever to tear us apart from each other and give us no reason to judge each other. We have to learn how to understand each other and understand what people are saying. If you don't agree with what the man said, keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't agree with it, if you think he lying, look it up. Because what he said about Harriet Tubman, what he said about Harriet Tubman, okay, the way that he said it didn't come across as the point he was trying to make. You know what I'm saying? Because what he said was true. You know what I'm saying? When Harriet Tubman started taking slaves on the Underground Railroad or whatever, and she was taking them to New York, she was taking them, and this was in the movie, like, you know what I'm saying? But she was taking them and introducing them, or putting them, you know, turning them over in a sense, not necessarily in a slave way, but to Jim or John Brown. Now, John Brown was a wonderful European. John Brown, bull, he invited to the picnic. If y'all don't know nothing about John Brown, you have to research and find out who he is and what he did, because he had a major part in the Civil War. He had a major part in he didn't agree with slavery at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was Europeans in the North that did agree with slavery as well. You know what I'm saying? But he was not one of those. He wanted to help. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, he provided a sense, I guess a lot of people saying jobs and things like that, when it was really he was putting them in war. Anyway, you have to research it before you can even put in your 2 cents on what it is that he was doing. But he wasn't saying like you went to slavery. You know what I'm saying? When he said she did not free them, the thing about it is we have to understand this. There's a lot of different things that we make our master, because I said they went from one master to another. You know what I'm saying? And not in a physical sense, not saying that he had them chained, he was forcing them to work, not even saying that he wasn't paying them. You know what I'm saying? Not even saying that or whatever. But the thing about it is, we didn't go into towns and establish our own. We didn't go and start taking those skills that we learned on the plantation and put them to use for ourselves. That wasn't what happened. We went to go work for the European in the North. You know what I'm saying? And that's all he was saying. That is exactly where we stand. That is exactly where a lot of us are today. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not just saying that if you work for the European that you're in mental slavery. That's not what I'm saying, because there's a thing about mental slavery and physical slavery. So you got people out here that work for the European, but they work for the European as a stepping stone to get somewhere greater or to build their own. You got people that work for the European that have a retirement plan and plan on working for the European for 40 to 50 years and retiring, and then the government paying them to do this and this and that for the rest of their lives. Their survival basically is dependent on someone else. That's all it is. That is mental slavery. That's not freedom. That is not freedom. When you are not out here, when you and I really believe that's what Kanye West was saying. You know what I'm saying? And we can't just be out here diagnosing everybody with mental illness and everything like that, because they probably wouldn't say the same thing about Nick Cannon. Oh, another thing about Nick Cannon before I get way too off the subject of all this or whatever, but Nick Cannon went back and apologized, and he made some suicidal thoughts, comments, tweets, whatever. Because he said, you know, he was getting he was getting it coming from both sides. So he had the Jewish community coming out mad about what the comments that he made, and then he had our community coming out mad because he apologized. I really feel like the only reason Nick Cannon apologized is because he didn't want to lose the Masked Singer. Point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, as a man, there's nothing wrong with apologizing if you offended someone. And that's exactly what he said. If my words offended you, I apologize for that. He didn't say that his words weren't correct. I think he did kind of say that he needed to do a little bit more studying and all this other kind of stuff or whatever, which there's nothing wrong with that at all. But the basis of what he said, of what he said, he had nothing to apologize for. And then you have people saying, well, we know it's true, but he shouldn't have said it at all. And it's like, that's why we're in the position that we're in now. We're afraid to speak the truth. That's what Louis Farrakhan was talking about on July 4th. If y'all didn't listen to y'all probably need to go back and find it. But he said our people need to learn how to stand on our truths. The truths that we know. We're willing to silence ourselves just for a check? No. That's the times that we got to get out of. Those are the type of things that we have to get out of. We can't just keep at another, like I was telling, people earlier that was commenting on his status, you know what I'm saying, about the Harriet Tubman thing or whatever. They saying that I just lost my train of thought. I need to go back. Let me just go back and look it up because I don't want to miss what I'm trying to say, and I don't got that much time, so I need to find it before Facebook remove it, because Facebook will remove some stuff. Anyway, I probably can't find it, but I was just saying, like, because I used the word trading one master to another, and they said even using the word master is a slave mentality. But there's a lot of things that we let become masters of our lives. Some people, money, you know what I'm saying? Some people it's attention, some people it's fame. There's a lot of things that drive you. The only thing to consider that a master is what controls you. You know what I'm saying? Controls your destiny, basically. And the whole thing about it is when he was saying another thing with the Kanye West thing is a lot of people are going off of sound bits, so they only getting part of what he was saying, because right after that he was talking about owning land. He said you only need 4 things to provide. That's food, water, shelter, and fire. You know what I'm saying? None of these things are controlled. None of these things should be charged. All of these things are free, provided to you free from Mother Earth. You know what I'm saying? And we have to be able to utilize these things in order to make sure our own survival is not dependent on someone else from the beginning of, not the beginning of time, but from our beginning of time since our colonization of the Americas, we have always been dependent on someone else to take care of us. No matter how you look at it, you look at the people on Section A, you look at the people on food stamps, you look at the people that disability, you look at the people that work for the European and everything like that, have no sense of getting themselves out of the rat race, because that's the words that I use. It's like we get stuck in the rat race, you know what I'm saying? And the rat race is what's keeping us behind, because we're continuously playing catch up. We're continuously running behind something else. You know what I'm saying? Instead of going the opposite way and just creating our own and standing on our own 2 feet. We have to build a nation that can stand on its own. And I feel like that's what Kanye meant when he's saying she didn't lead them to freedom. Yes, she led them to physical freedom. Physically, they were free. Mentally, were they free? That's a question that you really just can ask yourself just by looking at history. You know what I'm saying? Looking at the things that came behind it, looking at, things like that. Were they mentally free? Freedom is not just a physical thing. Your mind has to be free. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people's mind is stuck in a sense of dependency. And a lot of people say, oh, that's easy for Kanye to say because he's a billionaire. Well, he's a billionaire now, but he wasn't a billionaire as a kid raised up on the south side of Chicago. You know what I'm saying? He was like, the thing about it is we look at these people, and that's probably why how they look at us sometimes or whatever, because they took the initiative to get out there and make something of their own, and then you see that there's no limit. You know what I'm saying? You see that there's no limit when you actually get out of your own way. And you know what I'm saying? And put your best foot forward for yourself, for your nation. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's more so of what message he was trying to get across versus trying to tear down the legacy of Harriet Tubman. Considering what they came from, I do believe that they felt that they were free. We feel like we free now. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, we feel like we free now, but you can't walk into a store without a mask. But we free. You know what I'm saying? We if we was that free, we'll be able to do whatever we wanted to do when we wanted to do it. We have a sense of freedom right now, but mentally, we're not. Mentally, we're not free. Who controls our media? Who controls our programming? Who educates our children? You know what I'm saying? We're not free. We have a sense of freedom. That's it. You know what I'm saying? We're physically, they make it seem like we out here to make our own choices or whatever. If you still tying yourself to black, you definitely not free. Not in the eyes of the law. Because a black person is 3/5 of a person. One. A black person is considered property of the United States. 2. So it's like, if you don't even have your nationality, if you don't know what your nationality is, you're not even free. You can think you free all day long, but try to do something that they don't want you to do and see how free you are. Okay, I went over my time, but I gotta go. But real quick, you are the children of one father, provided for by his care. The breast of one mother have given you suck. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house. When you separate in the world, remember the relation that bondeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brothers in adversity, assist him. If thy sisters in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all, and your love to each other.